Time to check in with Big Daddy this morning. The real estate market is changing again here in San Diego. It looks like things are turning around, but the numbers can be very, very deceptive. That's why you need an expert like Bryan Garrity on your side from the Garrity Group to really sift through these things and tell you what they really mean. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
Now,
on a Monday.
We're going to talk about a lot of things during this segment. We're going to move really fast.
Okay.
And folks, a lot of you have called in with questions about Bryan and how he's lost all this weight and so forth. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds here as well, and share some really candid moments with you. But first off, get into these numbers that are telling us right now that the real estate market in San Diego is on fire.
It's fire, baby. Yeah. It's so hot you can't even touch it.
Right, exactly. And their homes are appreciating at phenomenal rates here.
Yeah, 500%.
What's really happening?
What's really happening is the inventory is low, as we've said ad infinitum.
So there's not a lot of homes out there for sale right now, so and that would tend to push the price of those homes, those individual homes, up.
In those areas.
In those areas, right.
Okay, so it's creating like a frenzy, basically. Problem is, when they release these numbers, like on the front page of the Tribune, La Jolla, for example, had a total of 4 sales. 4 sales in the month of March. So you got to remember these numbers that they're giving you is based on a total of 4 sales. Now, cumulatively, you can look at North Park, Hillcrest, some of them, and the reason I brought the iPad rather than trying to republish it, there's just so many, it breaks down every city for us.
Right.
But if you, I wanted to do that because in La Jolla, they actually had a 22.6% decrease in appreciation in March.
So the average cost of the homes sold went down 20-some%.
22.6%.
But it was only 4 homes that were sold.
Key.
Got it.
Okay. Versus in Borrego Springs, there was 200% appreciation, 1 sale. So
okay, so you hear, oh, in Borrego Springs, look, homes are up 200%. But that's 1 home was sold.
You got to do your homework. That's why you've got to get an agent that understands what they're doing, that understands the numbers. I know I harp on it, but you got to do it so that you understand kind of what the true baseline is.
Right.
Look at what the neighborhood's been doing for the last year. What is the inventory that's available right now? What is the likely inventory to be there? What is the potential for new home builds in the area where you're going to be moving? Those are important factors.
And everybody wants to know about their individual neighborhood or the neighborhood that they're interested in moving into and buying. And if you don't break it down that way. Now, I went straight to you and I said, okay, show me Alpine. And you pulled up Alpine and you said, oh, look, you know, they have sold a fair degree of homes. I think it was like 22 or something. 22. And home prices were up about 16%. Right. Well, that's a little bit better average.
Well, yeah, I feel better about it. I felt 22. In a month, I feel a lot better about 22 homes than I would 4 or 1.
Right.
It's more representative.
There's another column over there that had to do with condos. You look at that, and they were way off in Alpine. In Alpine, and that didn't represent. There's not a lot of condos there. So.
And I got to tell you, in general, unless you're downtown, condos are going to take a hit.
Right.
So you want to buy a 1-bedroom condo? Talk to me before you do that. Okay, because it's not the best investment.
So what I'd really like people to do today, folks, is I'd really like you to think about this with Bryan. If you've got a home that you want to sell, okay, I really would suggest before you list with anybody, give Bryan a call and let him run through everything with you here in terms of what you're looking for with an agent. You may end up just doing business with Bryan, but he'll give you the straight answers and let you make a decision about what it is you need to know about your individual situation. You have a legal background as well. You do not promote that heavily, but I happen to know that's in your educational background as well.
And no pressure. It's like, come in, let's talk, and if it makes sense, you see, with this appreciation, for some people, it's making sense now to possibly list your house. But let's weigh that out, because for some people, it's not. Too many agents are jumping on the bandwagon, pushing people to list, when maybe another 2-year hold makes more sense.
And so you would tell somebody that came to you wanting to list their home, if it really didn't make sense for them to sell, you might caution them against listing rather than just take a listing and possibly pick up a sale that wasn't beneficial to the seller.
Exactly. I had a 64-year-old couple come in to list really quick. And if they waited just another 18 months, basically it would be 2 years, but another 18 months, their tax implications would be a lot different. The way that they would be able to distribute the wealth from the house that they would gain would be a lot different. So I turned that listing, I told them to wait. Go talk to your financial planner. Don't list. It's not a good time. Next thing I know, they're going to go and list it. It canceled. They called and they were just so thankful that I'd given them that advice. But you got to really get your ducks in a row. Interview the agent.
Right.
Make sure you know what's going on financially.
And Bryan, you know, I just, again, on a personal note here, and a lot of folks have asked about this as well.
Yes.
Folks that know you personally know that your mother just passed away. She was a huge fan of the show, immensely proud of the way that you do business. So if we can dedicate the segment to your mom.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. Anybody that came in contact with her knew what an angel she was. I mean, she loved you. I mean, she was, you know, Marc Bailey in the morning she loved, and she loved being able to meet you. I mean, she just was such an angel, really. And and I'm not just, everyone's going to say that about their mother, but she really was to everyone that she touched. She had an impact on their life. She was so warm and so giving.
And she certainly was. And
such a huge loss. I mean, I can
and you know, my heart breaks for you, but again, she was a wonderful, dear, sweet woman, and
she was.
And she loved you dearly. And I know she helped you through this period of when you were losing all this weight and undergoing some medical procedures. We don't have time to talk about all that right now, but you talk about that on your radio show.
Radio show. We have the doctors on this Wednesday and next Wednesday, and they're going to talk about the surgical procedures that I underwent. There were 3 of them, and also all that hormone problems that I had.
Right.
Applies to many men that don't want to discuss it. Tune into the radio show, and you guys are getting some really great information.
Tell everybody when the radio show is again.
It's on Wednesdays, 1 o'clock, ESPN. You can stream it live on San Diego1700.com, or you can listen live, 1700 a.m.
1700 a.m.
Yeah, 1 o'clock Wednesday.
1 o'clock Wednesday, and you'll get some great information. But again, talk to Bryan about listing your home, about buying and selling, and again, you know, God love your mom. And
yeah, God bless her.
Yeah.
I know she's here with us, though.
She certainly is. All right.